This is one of the times where I actually have to give credit to Singapore's bus and train network, or like their bus infrastructure in general. Because compared to back home in Japan, buses in Japan are just not as good as the ones in Singapore. That being said, I will never understand why this is even a thing. Yes, I do know that historically there used to be a pair of bus stops outside of here. And the only bus service that ever used this pair of bus stops is 365, which obviously became 945 over time, and then they got amended inside like this. But back then it was just outside. I forgot if like one of the Night Rider services ever used this bus stop, but I'm pretty sure when it comes to like standard bus services, it was just 365, which later became 945. So it's not that like I'm unreasonable or anything. I am aware that the reason why there is this pair of bus stops inside, like only one pair and not like two pairs of bus stops, is simply because they decided to shift this pair of bus stops inside so that it could touch more HDB blocks. But really, I felt like a more efficient, what you call it, a more efficient way of like spreading out the bus stops would be you could shift these bus stops a little bit down, not too far down, but a little bit down. You could put another pair of bus stops over here, as long as it doesn't really block the entrances or exits of the HEB car park, as well as like the entrance to the private estate. And then this pair of bus stops, you could actually shift it closer to the junction so that people taking 871 would actually get better access to Bukit Gombak MRT. Currently, it's like okay, it's like decent, as long as there are like sheltered laneways, because in Singapore it rains a lot. So, well, in Japan, rain is like not that common, but whenever it rains, it's rarely like really heavy. So, yeah, that's that. But in Singapore, as long as you have like sheltered laneways, all is good. But I felt that if if they had like planned a little bit better from the start, then you wouldn't really have this whole 871 fiasco. Because what I feel that they did wrong with 871 is that, yes, I do know they have to save costs and everything, but they tried to do way too much with one bus service, meaning that this 871 ends up having to like whine like this and this. Because the thing is, 871 is only a thing because they rejected the old 994, which was supposed to be Tengah to Bukit Gombak loop. And the way it looped, it was supposed to be like similar to 945, like within within Bukit Gombak. It, it's supposed to like copy 945, but because it got rejected, 871 kind of was like forced to take. Okay, like 871 had a different route back then. In fact, the western sector, I heard it was supposed to like copy 66 back then, but then they changed it last minute so that um 871 kind of had to take on the role of 994. And instead of calling at outside Bukit Gombak MRT at Bukit Batok West 75, it had to call like these bus stops instead, which it isn't too bad, but it's like, yeah. Like all in all, I just feel like the lack of foresight is one major thing when it comes to like bus planning in general. Okay, for the train side, yes, at least they have like provisions for future lines. Like for example, Napier has a provision, Tavistock, Esplanade, all of them they have like provisions and stuff like that. But yeah. But the reason why I even brought up Bukit Gombak in the first place, like the whole 871 example, is because like, can somebody explain to me why this bus stop and this bus stop they're so close to each other? And then it's like within a small road, Buangkok Crescent, there's like one pair, two pair, two pairs, three pairs of bus stops, whereas in the whole Bukit Batok Street 52, there's like only one pair of bus stops. Like, this just doesn't make sense. Okay, I get it that like modern day HDBs, like what you call that? The first floor, like the common area. Nowadays, like the way they build like the HDB blocks is that a lot of them, like if you visit the flats in like Choa Chu Kang or like Tengah, Bukit Batok West, you would notice that it's like really hard to navigate your way. Like it's hard to like cut through the blocks. It's easier to cut through the blocks of like the the older estates. But when it comes to the newer estates, the first story it's literally like a maze. So from this pair of bus stops to this pair of bus stops, it's kind of a pain to just like cut across like this. So I could understand why Buangkok in this case has like this many bus stops. Also because I don't know if the flats are taller or anything, but I'm pretty sure there's like more demand within Buangkok. Like just density in general when you compare it to like Bukit Gombak. Like here, but it's like this road is like so small. Oh sorry, no. No, this road is like it's like similar size as compared to like Buangkok. But then this one only has like one bus stop. And then the furthest bus stop is like here. And this one's not so bad, and then it's over here. So if you happen to be from Hillgrove Secondary, to get to Hillgrove Secondary, you will need to alight at this bus stop and then walk. And then since this bus stop near the mosque is like way too far, I believe they push this bus stop closer to the mosque, which is a good thing. But this kind of like awkward bus stop configuration means that like from Hillgrove Secondary, again, I forgot where the entrance or exit is. You might have to like walk to this bus stop instead. It's just so awkward. Yeah, I do know that it's like this and then like this so that the spacing is kind of even, but like it's really awkward when you really think about it. And another kind of hilarious example nearby is that why is it that these bus stops can be so evenly spaced, whereas from here to here it's like really, really far? It just doesn't make sense. It's inconsistent. I'm not saying bus stop distances have to be consistent. I'm just saying, what the hell is this compared to like this just nearby? And it's not like this area has like high density. I mean, well, there is this HDB cluster that's coming up, but it's like, what is this compared to like this? Doesn't make sense. Now, I actually don't mind this configuration because they want to ensure that like the bus stops between here and here are like evenly spaced. I do know that 945S365 when it first looped at this area, it looped like this, and then over time it got extended to loop like this instead. Yeah, so this one was kind of an addition over time, but I do like the bus stop spacing between this and this, and the fact that they push this bus stop a little further south so that I mean it's like so that they could better serve people. I don't know how to say it. But then again, if you really wanted to cut costs, yes, I do know there are these entrances, but if you really wanted to cut costs, this pair of bus stops and this pair of bus stops, you could just make it so that it's just one pair of bus stops. But technically, this one caters towards here, and then this one caters towards the school, and then caters to here as well. But yeah, if you really wanted to cut costs, you could have done this as well. There is just no way to explain how badly Street 52 is just planned. Like, okay, I have no issues with like the road designs when it comes to like Bukit Batok in general because they have to like plan their roads around this town park. I don't even have an issue with like the road designs. I only have an issue with the bus stop spacing when it comes to like Bukit Batok East Avenue 5 as well as like Street 52. I feel that they could have done like a way better job at the bus stops. If you really wanted to know which towns are like badly designed, this is one example. Okay, I do know they have to accommodate this, they have to accommodate the canal and everything. I do understand that, but Bukit Panjang is like one town that is just like badly designed. I know it's bounded by KJE, BKE, and stuff like that, but hey, even they managed to make something work when it comes to Toa Payoh. It's like bounded and closed within Thompson Road, Braddow Road, CTE, PIE. At least they somehow made it decent. I don't know what's with Bukit Panjang, honestly. The other poorly designed one, but this one I can kind of understand, is actually because it's PIE, CTE, and it's bounded by Balestier Road. If Balestier Road wasn't planned like way back in the day, they could have done better with this estate. Yeah, I agree. But it's like, see, here's the thing. You may not be able to control. It's like it's hard to control the towns, this like the way the roads are designed within a certain town, because you need to maximize space and all of that. I can understand, but when it comes to the bus stop placement, I feel that at least they should try to put more effort into it, because it's just funny that this area is like so bad, whereas this area is like, it's just like bus stop after bus stop after bus stop after bus stop after bus stop. It just makes no sense.